however you want to do it.
Yeah.
So it was really nice because I was a high school student, you know?
Yeah, you could go and study, finish your thing.
Exactly.
And work.
I worked for him until junior in college, and he is still very dear to my heart, and we're great friends. Job was to select all the amenities. So I had nothing to do with plants or trees, or I have no knowledge on any of that. But my job was to, he did everything by hand, but that's when everything was changing, and so he was meeting with board of directors and different mud districts, and he had to present things in in
like
3D.
the architect.
Like things were changing, so you had to present things in 3D, and you needed to have knowledge in Photoshop and AutoCAD and Revit, and that's where I came in. So I translated a lot of his designs along with, she was the one who did more of the AutoCAD, and then mine was to make it more 3D-ish, and the documents.
Do you think that this job that you have with him, I mean, I know in your mind it's always like, I want to be an interior designer. Did you ever thought, if I work with him, one, it's not going to be forever. Two, like even if you felt comfortable, in any point you were like, it's not going to be forever, I'm leaving. Okay.
Yeah.
And
he knew that too.
Okay.
Like he knew, particularly as because I was a junior in high school, then obviously senior, and then you go into college. So he knew I was going to school for interior design. He knew at some point I would leave, and I knew that too, but I did learn a lot. I mean, I did learn like selections, speaking with vendors, finding out specs.
I mean, then he left, a big, like legacy, because this is you carrying that.
I think being an entrepreneur comes from my dad and my parents and my
You've seen
family.
it all
I mean, I've seen it my whole life. My dad was always, and to this day, he's always been like, follow your dreams, do what you're passionate about and what inspires you.
Being a business owner is a whole piece.
I mean, I do joke now that I am one. At the time, I didn't think about it, but now that I am one, I do joke that it's like, I didn't like working 40 hours a week, so I decided to work 80. Because
it's never ending.
No. So, from business wise, because I did. It's actually a huge lesson that I've carried today. So Michael would pick up every sales call and would face every salesperson. Like if somebody knocked on the door selling, I don't know, phone books, whatever it was, printers, and at the time that was still happening. But now you translate it to, emails and all of that. Yeah. And he always gave these people attention and time and respect. And he looks at me and he goes, you never know what side you will be on. You always respect everybody. You always give them the time of day. And you always listen to what people have to say. And it was huge. And senior year, I work with Michael till junior year. Senior year, I have to find an internship. And so actually it's Michael who introduces me to an interior designer. They weren't friends, they weren't colleagues or anything like that, but he knew from the building.
From the circle.
And so I went to work with her that senior year. And I worked with her about 9 months. Actually, you learn from bad experiences as much as if not more, as much as the good ones. So I did learn a lot from that experience. I learned what not to do,
of course,
and how to never treat anybody.
What is it in your mind from your perspective?
Well, things I didn't like that I still remember is, I did a lot of the work. Like, obviously she was the boss and she was the owner, and she had gained that time, and because she had gone to school and she had learned the title. I totally understand that and respect that. But I did literally everything, like all the drawings, all the selections, all the finding of the furniture. Now looking back at things, she was handling a lot of the business side of things, because that's a lot, and I was the assistant at the time, so that was all okay. But when it came to clients, when we had client meetings and everything, she took total ownership of everything that I had done, like all work. it was always presented to clients like, oh, these are the drawings I've done, and these are the drawings that, you know, I've developed, and these are the selections that I've selected.
Yeah.
But for example, Kayla will develop a lot of the design and put and, you know, pull out samples and everything like that, and then I come in and go, yes, no, let's do that instead, let's change this.
Yeah, like finessing the ending.
Yeah. And yeah, exactly, finessing the ending, editing a little bit and all that. But every time that I present, I always say we.
Yeah.
I always say we. You know, we came up with these selections, we came up with these whatever. The only time I say I is if there's a mistake. I will own that mistake because that's just how it should be. It's my business, you know. So I always say we. And if there's a particular idea that it was the solution to something that we were having trouble with, you know, or having a problem, I will give, you know, credit to whoever solved that, whether it's Kayla, whether it's you, whether it's Pablo, you know, anybody who, gosh, you know, we've done this, and the client's like, oh, and I, you know, because sometimes I'm like, I don't know what else. I've always been like, Kayla came up with this, or Monica came up with this, you know, give you guys credit. So that comes from that, and then that leads me to, I got fired from this job in the middle of a design meeting. So we met with these clients, the clients at the time. Anyways, we were in a design presentation in the middle of it, and the clients complained. So I designed all the drawings. I created the design, the construction drawings, and then I was meeting with the workers already on site, saying, you know, do this, do that.
Yeah.
So I did not allow on the corner the 3 inches that you need to in order for the drawer to pull out. So, you know, when you don't leave enough, like, the styles are usually 1.5 to 2 inches wide. Yeah. But in the corners on one side, you should always allow space for the hardware of the other one, so that, you know, when you're opening the drawers, they don't hit each other. Again, I'm senior in college. Point is, I did these 3 drawers, you know, like that, where they would hit each other. But it's like, now that I'm in this so much, like, that was such a simple solution. You change the style, you make it wider, and you make the drawers, you know, narrower. Nobody called it, nobody noticed it, the client did. And she brings it up. The client, I mean, I don't blame her, the client was upset, right? You know, it was her, the interior designer, me, and then the couple, the client couple. And the client, she complains about the drawer. And once the client is done talking about it and complaining about it, she looks at me and goes, get up, grab your stuff, and get out of here. Like that, in the middle of the meeting. And then her office was set up where, like, our offices, like, the conference room was in the middle, so you had to, like, go to the back of the meeting room to my office, and then, like, cross the meeting room to exit and get out. So
how do you feel? Like,
oh my God, like an idiot, like the biggest idiot. I felt absolutely
so young.
Horrible. I felt ridiculed, embarrassed. I mean, it was just such an awful feeling. It was just horrible. And so I stand up and go to my office and grab my little
what came through your mind when that was happening?
I don't know. I don't remember. I think I was in such shock that I don't remember anything of the time.
Like, you just need. I
remember, like,
I need to get my stuff and leave.
Yes.
Like, this second. Exactly. I want to disappear.
I wanted the earth to crack open
and be like, bye.
And of course I remember, like, all the names and everything.
Yeah.
So anyways, I go to the back of my office, grab my stuff, but I, like, walk out with my head down and like across the meeting room, and the clients were very uncomfortable as well. Like, I could see they were just like,
oh my God, it
like,
just cost her job.
Yeah,
that's what I would feel.
It was uncomfortable for everybody.
Yeah.
And I don't know, she got probably a power
trip out of it
or whatever, but it was uncomfortable for the clients. It was uncomfortable for me, clearly. So I, like, got my stuff and left, and then, like, 3 days later she called and she was like, okay, well, hopefully you learned your lesson to never do that again. You want to come back to work for me? Can you believe it? And I said, absolutely not. And I never went back to work for her, but just I was just like, she was trying to teach me a lesson that way. You know,
Yeah.
it was just weird and horribly handled.
Would you say this was the hardest, most embarrassing that out of your career so far?
Oh, 100%. 100%.